Hey guys, how's it going? This is Kauzi coming to you from my home here in Colorado. It's a beautiful sunny day outside today. I don't know if it'll show up or not, but yeah, love living in Colorado. It's beautiful here. Anyway, I wanted to continue on with another video and talk about a little bit about some things that are really important when it comes to creating a life by your design, creating a life that you want. And if you saw my first video, I talked about how I used to work construction. I went from a job, well, I enjoyed the job, but I wasn't able to make the living I wanted to make. I didn't make very much money. I had limited opportunities, definitely didn't have the ability to live the lifestyle that I wanted. So I started looking for other stuff, and I really found answers to what I needed to change in my life through personal development. And so that's what my videos are about. And I'm hoping to be able to give you information and some things that really worked for me in my life and changed drastically my life, right? It really changed the way that I viewed life, and it also changed the opportunities that I had in my life. So one of the first things that you'll come across when you start reading these personal development books, one of the first things you're going to always see that's harped on all the time is your personal beliefs, your thoughts, and really, what it comes down to is so there's two things that I really wanted to bring up in this video. The first one is, you have to understand that we have the ability to create. Whether you're religious or not, I happen to be, and I believe that we come from a creator, and we are offspring of a creator, and we have the ability to create because of that. So understanding that, number one, you have the ability to create. And we're going to talk about some real examples, real world examples of this. I mentioned that I come from a background of building houses. My dad's a general contractor, so I understand what it's like to have a vacant lot with nothing but, there's open land. There's no house there, right? I understand what it is to have a blank slate. I understand what it means to not have physically in this world right now your dreams. And it's a lot like building a house, right? So first of all, what's the first thing you need when you want to build a house? Well, you need some land, right? So you have to become aware that there's even a possibility, number one, right? The next thing is you need a blueprint. Are you going to build a house without a blueprint? Definitely not, right? You're not going to have the details. Another thing too, okay, let's say I give you a blueprint. Okay, you've got a piece of land and you've got a blueprint. Do you have the ability or the awareness to know how to build a foundation? Do you know concrete work? Do you know how to dig the foundation? After the concrete work's done, do you know how to do the framing? Do you know how to build the house, and what comes after the framing? Do you know how to do the plumbing, the electrical, sheetrock, put on the roof? There's all these steps, right? But it all starts with the blueprint, okay? So, and the other thing is, hey, once you have the blueprint, you don't need to know all of those steps, do you, right? You can contract it out, hire it up to somebody who does. But what you do need the ability to do is you need to know what comes next and what's the process, right? So now you've got a piece of land, you've got a blueprint, now you go hire a contractor because he knows what he's doing. So it's still not in the physical world, right? It takes some time. It takes time. And that's this is a good analogy, because when you go changing your life and you want to make a 6-figure income, 7-figure income, whatever it is, you have to have that desire and that belief that it's going to happen long enough for it to actually happen, right? If I want a house to be built in 2 days, is it going to happen? No. If you want to earn a 6-figure income and let's say you're making $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 a year right now, and you want to make $200,000, is it going to happen overnight? No, it's not. And neither is building a house. So there's a lot of similarities here. And the reason why I use these analogies, as I said, I'm a believer. Jesus Christ used analogies to teach very complicated ideas, and the reason he did it was because analogies make it really simple to understand, and that's why I use them myself. So anyway, I mentioned up front, you need to understand that you have the ability to create. You have the ability to, change your life. If you don't understand that or believe that, it's not going to happen. I could give you a business. I could give you exactly what you need to do step by step. But if you don't believe it and you can't hold on to that belief long enough for it to be manifest, it doesn't really matter, right? It matters not very. It's not very important what the business is, in my opinion. It's more about your belief and your diligence in believing that, and that'll really determine whether or not things will come about and change in your life. That's just some of the things that I've seen. So I talked about time, right? It takes time. You have to understand that. When you have a goal and you have a dream, it takes time and consistency and persistent thought. And there's some great things in the book called The Science of Getting Rich. It talks about this, right? So when you start making these big dreams and these big goals, there's some obstacles you're going to run into. And the number one obstacle you're going to run into is yourself. Okay? It's your self-limiting beliefs. You have to be aware of this. If you're not aware that you're going to run into self-limiting beliefs, it's going to beat you up. And it's probably going to win. And this is why. So we have a subconscious mind and a conscious mind. Okay, your conscious mind, what it is it's those thoughts that you put into your, you put in your mind. You're actively thinking, right? So think of it as, in terms of like a computer. Your conscious mind is, let's say, a program that you've opened up and you're actively running, right? You've got a program open and you're actively clicking or doing whatever, making this program do what you want it to do. That's what your conscious mind is like. Now your subconscious mind it's all the programs running in the background that you're not even aware of. It's your antivirus and everything else in the background that you're not aware of. You don't even know it's running, but it's happening. That's your subconscious mind. Now, here's a question. If you had to put your conscious mind up against your subconscious mind. Again, subconscious mind runs on autopilot. It's always running. You're not putting forth any effort. It happens. It's happening. It's working. It's functioning, right? Put that up against your conscious mind, which you have to put forth effort. You're telling your conscious mind what to think, what to do, right? Well, your subconscious mind definitely has the advantage because it requires no effort, and it functions day in and day out, night, day, sleep, doesn't matter. So your subconscious mind has programming. Your subconscious mind receives programming from the years of habits that you've developed. Your subconscious mind doesn't understand yes, no, I want, or I don't want, I hate, I hate my job. Basically your subconscious mind erases the word hate and says job, right? So your habits have to change in order for your subconscious mind to change. You've got to change the programming that's happening automatically in the background. That's why all these self-help books focus and talk so much about, you need to change your thoughts. You need to change what you're focusing on, what you're reading, the information you're bringing into your mind. All this stuff has to change in order for your income to change. Because if you don't, your subconscious mind takes the programming. Okay, it looks at the programming and goes, hey, conscious mind, you're telling me you want to earn $100,000 a year. Well, the subconscious mind looks at the programming and says, hey, I don't know about that. Programming here says that for the last 10 years, you've only earned $30,000 a year. You eat out every night, fast food. You play Facebook games at least 10 hours every week. You don't believe in yourself, yada, yada, yada. Your subconscious mind does all this automatically, right? So if you really want to change your reality, it begins by changing the programming that your subconscious mind has to work with, right? In order to make changes in the programming of your subconscious mind, you have to prove to your subconscious mind that it's really what you want. All right, because your subconscious mind looks at the program and says, "Hey, boss, I don't believe you want this. I don't believe you want to make $20,000 a month. I don't believe it. The reason I don't believe it, the last 10 years, my programming says you've only earned $2,000 a month, right? So you've got to override what's going on in your subconscious mind in order for it to actually have any impact. So this is why, it's repetitive, it's daily, study, focus on yourself, work on yourself. What do you need to change daily in order for your subconscious mind to pick up the new programming? Okay? I know for a lot of you, this might seem like mumbo jumbo, just a bunch of hokey stuff, but it's true, right? I know a lot of people say, seeing is believing. Seeing is believing. So let me just talk about that for a second. As far as people believing what they see, that's not belief, right? That's not belief. That's just simply seeing something that exists and acknowledging it. So it's not believing, right? Also, everything that exists, like my house, for example, my house that exists right now, at one point it didn't exist. Now, somebody believed it into existence. That's why my house exists. It's because somebody believed, hey, I got a blueprint, I got a piece of land. I believe I have the abilities to hire somebody to build it, right? And then they consistently for 8 months had that belief, and they took action to make that belief a reality. Okay, that's how the creation process works. I talked about us being creators. We are. We have the ability to create. But anyway, so lost my train of thought for a second. Anyway, yes. So that's what we're talking about is why this programming has to be changed in our subconscious mind and how to do it. My son just walked up over there. Anyway, I hope you guys are starting to see the importance of personal development. Right? It's really important that you're aware of how your mind works, because that's where the creation all happens. Right? Before a house can be built, before you make a 6-figure income or a 7-figure income, you have to understand what's behind all this. Right? If you don't understand that, then don't expect any change. That's the reality of it, right? That's why people wake up, they go to work, they make the same income for years and years. They might have a promotion here or there, but overall, the general programming of the subconscious mind hasn't changed. And generally, they stay basically in the same spot. Hey, Alexander.
Hey, Mom.
All right, I'm recording right now. You can hold on to those chips for a minute. Believing. I was explaining that, you're late to the game, right? If you believe in what's currently in the world, what you're seeing right now, as I said, that's not believing. That's just acknowledging what already exists. Believing is something that doesn't exist currently in this world, and accepting that it will, right? Before it actually happens. So you're late to the game. If you believe what you see, you're late to the game. Meaning, here's reality, and then you show up and you say, "Yeah, I believe it." No, you're just accepting that it's already there, right? See, when you actually believe in this creation process, here's reality, but this is where you start. Start down here, right? It doesn't exist yet. All it is a belief. Now that's where the creation happens. So you have to believe it's going to exist, right? You got to have a plan of action to make it exist, and then you have to be persistent in executing that plan until it finally raises up here to where it exists. And then all your friends who only believe something that they see, they're going to look at it and say, "Whoa, how in the world did you do that? How did you change from this income down here to this income up here? How did you change your life? How did you become healthy? How did you," whatever your goal is over here, right? Whatever it is that you're bringing into creation. Don't mind my son in the background. He's just hanging out. Anyway, so that's important to understand also, right? You function down here. This is where you function when you want to bring something into reality. It doesn't currently exist, but you want it to exist. And there's steps, very specific steps. Hi, buddy. Anyway, so that's a little bit about the creation process, and just understanding this stuff has helped me a lot in my life. And I'm continuing to learn a ton, right? I'm not I'm like you. I'm like anybody else. A lot of this information for me is new. Some of it's new. Some of it I applied without even knowing it. Hey, Corey. I've got 5 kids, so if you see kids, interrupting now and then the videos, hey, that's my life and that's what it is. So I'm not ashamed of it. Anyway, so yeah, I think we've covered pretty much what I wanted to cover in this video. We're gonna be. I'll shoot another video soon. Kind of like to talk about some of the other things that I've learned. Can you guys go over there so Daddy can finish this video? I want to talk about some of the other things that I've learned from a lot of other books. Right, this is just basically the beginning. Right, one topic that's really important up front. Right, because I know most people they're sick and tired of what they're doing, but they want to change it and don't know how. And their subconscious mind, without them knowing it, is holding them where they're at. Right? They wonder, why in the world can't I get out of this cycle? Why can't I get out of this funk that I'm in? And it seems like you're powerless to it. And really, if you don't understand how your subconscious mind is battling constantly against your conscious mind, then yeah, you're kind of at the mercy of it because you don't understand how to change it. So change is important. I know change is scary for a lot of people, but hey, change is what we all need. Most of us aren't born into wealth, right? Most of us are born into, pretty much average lifestyle. And if we don't learn about how to change that and then take action once we learn, nothing's going to change, right? That's just the way it is. So I've had fun making this video. I know it's been a little bit long-winded. Hopefully you've gotten some value out of it. Next time, I don't know, one of these next videos, I'm going to be shooting, a whole series of videos and talking about different books and things that I'm learning from. So, yeah, thanks a lot, guys, for listening, and we'll talk to you again soon.